and his pants were torn. Thoughts kept spinning around Jacob's head as he plodded toward the orphanage. Some of the other children said he wasn't a real orphan, but he felt he was, as much as his friends Ezra and David were. They all slept on thin mattresses on similar iron cots, wore the same hand-me-down clothes, and ate the same food day after day: potatoes, beans, and black bread. It was true that after his mother and father had died, Uncle Isaac and Aunt Malka had taken him in. He was only 4 years old then and didn't take up much room. He slept on a pallet on the floor in the back room of Uncle Isaac's shoemaker shop, but he grew bigger and their family did too. Jacob sighed. Last year, when he was 12 years old, Uncle Isaac had arranged for him to go to the Jewish orphanage. Jacob had pleaded not to go. "I can help you in the shop. I promise I won't be a burden. I'll even eat less." As if to betray him, his empty stomach had growled. Uncle Isaac raised his bushy eyebrows and put his arm around Jacob's shoulders. "You are a good boy, but we cannot support you any longer." He blew his nose, honking like a goose, and patted Jacob's head. "Who knows? This might be the beginning of a whole new life for you." Chapter 2. Jacob finally reached the orphanage, his heart beating so loudly he thought all the children could hear it. The sweat was pouring down his face. It was one of the first warm days of spring. Purple crocuses peeped up from the ground, and the song of sparrows filled the air. But the day no longer gave Jacob any pleasure. He could taste the salt on his dry lips as he wiped his shoes on the mat and entered the wide foyer of the building. It was almost time for the midday meal, but he didn't hurry. He wondered if he would get into trouble for being late or for losing some of the potatoes. "There you are, Jacob," he heard Mrs. Anna Adler's voice before he saw her. Her dark brown hair was cut in a short bob, and a pair of spectacles hung from a cord around her neck. She wore a dark-colored cotton blouse, a simple mid-length gray skirt, and sensible black shoes. Mrs. Adler, or Anuskia, as she was known to almost everyone in town, walked up to Jacob and frowned. "Jacob, my boy, what happened to you?" Jacob raised his chin. I'm all right." He swallowed hard. "It was Bartek. He stopped me in the street." Mrs. Adler raised her eyebrows. "Again? I will speak to his father." "Please don't. It will just make things worse." He kicked the floor with a scuffed shoe. "Sorry, Mrs. Adler." There was nothing to be sorry for. Mrs. Adler put her hand gently on Jacob's shoulder. Her touch reminded him of his mother, or how he imagined Mama must have felt like. So long ago. Mama didn't seem real to him anymore. He tried to blink back his tears. "Hurry along to the kitchen now," Mrs. Adler said. "Give the cook those potatoes and then wash up for dinner." She paused and smiled. "I have an important announcement to make for our children like you, who are over 12 years of age." The older boys and girls were seated on wooden benches at long tables. Their teachers were seated at the front. Jacob glanced at his teacher, Chaim Lou. Mr. Lou taught music and led the mandolin orchestra at the school. Jacob thought of his mandolin lessons as he looked at Mr. Lou's long, delicate fingers. When he had first come to the orphanage, he could not play a musical instrument. While he had lived with Uncle Isaac and Aunt Malka, the family would sing zmiros, songs after the Sabbath meal was over. From time to time, Jacob would pass by a house, and through an open window, he could hear someone practicing violin. His heart yearned to connect to the music drifting out through the air, and his fingers ached to play. Why he felt like that, he did not know. One time, he had even asked his uncle if he could take violin lessons. Uncle Isaac had shaken his head and said, "I'm sorry, my boy. There is no money for you to take music lessons." Uncle Isaac sighed. "Or for any of my children either." Jacob understood and never asked again. But when Jacob arrived at the orphanage, everything changed. Every day, the orphans would have their lessons in the regular school subjects: reading and writing, Yiddish and Hebrew, mathematics, science, history, and geography. But the children all belonged to the mandolin orchestra as well, no matter what level their skill or how...